Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Student Game Showcase. We're here now with Starman 64 from UC Riverside. Again, this is Jason.
And I'm Megna. And
I'm
then,
Alex.
yeah. Oh, and please introduce yourself and your game.
Yeah, I'm calling in from San Diego. I recently graduated and I'm working on another project right now. This is my project for senior design. I worked with 4 other people: Patrick, Yunji, Austin, and Matthew. And we worked on this for 10 weeks. Yeah.
Awesome. And so you're the team lead for Starman 64?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I
And
came up with the concept and the art. Yeah.
okay, awesome. And you can go ahead and start playing. And then, I guess, how did you get the idea, and like, what was the inspiration behind the game?
The idea was basically you're Iron Man and you can punch drones in space. Or you can be a sword fighter and you can just slash them instead. So you're an astronaut and you're lost in space and you have to escape this mysterious area, which was apparently set up by a villain. And these are beacons. They're summoning these drones that want to destroy you.
Awesome.
And yeah.
Yeah. And so in terms of the development, how did the game change from what it is, what was when it was initially pitched, to what it is now?
We had to figure stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the idea started out as like just fighting things in space with survival, and like didn't really have that many details at the time. Now we're much more clear. Like, yeah, we got more clear over time.
Got it. And then in terms of the game, in probably any aspect, what would you consider to be the most difficult part of its development?
I'm not sure. Oh yeah, there was like I used Godot engine before, but my team had not. So we had to like manage those differences in experience. And also we were busy. We were like having 4 classes per quarter, most of us. And so like time management and all that.
Gotcha. Did you develop this over like 1 quarter, or?
Yeah, 1 quarter.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And then I guess in terms of the development of the game, I guess do you have any plans for future developments or adding anything more to the game?
Yeah, I think I might flesh out the melee combat here,
Mm-hmm.
or like add items that the player can get, or like add like larger enemies or vehicles that the player can use. Like a separate idea I had was like GTA in space, where you're just this person flying around and hijacking things. So in this game you have like 2 attacks and like primary attack and secondary attack. You destroy the beacons, and then you fight the boss. And then you repeat this for 5 levels. And yeah, it is somewhat difficult.
Got it, yeah. And then, so I guess in terms of future development, you plan on like kind of expanding on the bosses in particular, or?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the bosses.
And it's interesting to see that like you were mentioning GTA, and that was kind of what would you say that GTA was sort of an inspiration for this game, other than
not as much. Not as much. There were some other games like Time Pilot, which is like where you fly around in a plane and fight other planes that just randomly move around. It's like, and there was a similar game called Wingnuts Temporal Navigator, where it's like Time Pilot but more difficult, with even more enemies flying around and such.
Oh yeah, I think that's another game submitted in the showcase.
Yeah, that's another side project.
And then, I guess in terms of like the genre, I guess like what would you call this genre for say? Kind of like almost
action.
I guess like what do you love or find interesting about it that you wanted to make a game specifically in this genre?
Oh yeah. The freedom, like 2 degrees, like 2D movement, and like inertia, like fly around and going fast and such. And yeah, I think there's new stuff that can be done with this. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
If you run out of HP, you will use this fuel bar to restore HP. Like you have energy, HP, and fuel. You use energy to fight, and you use fuel to regenerate and to move. And,
oh, okay, awesome. Jason, do you have anything to add, or?
No, I mean at this point, I think, what sort of advice do you have for students who might, who like you or what you had previously, when you had a pretty tough schedule? What would you advise in that sort of situation? How you would deal with schedules or whatnot, like in terms of game development?
I'm not sure. Not really.
For sure, no, that is definitely tough.
I do recommend using Godot engine, since I know that it is designed for like moving really fast, like really fast at prototyping, and like that allowed me to get a lot of stuff done, even without having that much time.
So like in this case, maybe just like trying to find something that allows you to iterate quickly might be something that for everyone.
Yeah, since this engine is like really well designed in that aspect, just
Gotcha, yeah. And I guess in terms of the movement in the game, would you recommend using this engine in particular because of like because I noticed within the game, your little astronaut person is moving like quite fast and like pretty and kind of reacting to the gravitation pull like you would in space. So I guess would you recommend the engine particularly for those types of games, or?
It works really well for 2D games in general, I hear. So yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm
it
playing
will
as the knight
for sure.
who has this sword slash.
Oh yeah, what was the design philosophy behind creating these like multiple astronauts?
Oh yeah, I wanted to have like different characters who each had like a specific kind of like attribute. Like a Starman has the melee attack with the punch, and also gets stronger if you upgrade the energy bar. Astronaut is slower and like has this slower but stronger kinetic attack, and also the very short range but wide angle sword slash. Two other characters are Asteria and Loon. Loon has this crescent projectile that is like magic, but it's shorter range, and it has multi-hit, and also like a very long range beam. And Asteria has like both a very narrow angle and a very wide angle attack. And yeah, like each character covers like a specific niche.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, did my game just crash?
Oh, no
No.
worries. I think
Oh.
we're anyway almost out of time. So I guess do you have anyone or anything you wanted to shout out before we move on? Or
Need to shout out my team for just being there and doing their part. And I like to shout out the professor Craig Schroeder for being cool and such. And I'd also like to shout out George Momozato, just a game dev who is also cool.
hey, awesome. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for presenting.
Yeah. The next game that we have coming up will be Canoris. So we will have that coming straight up. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.